All right, so we're diving into the world of personal finance today.
Yeah, getting into the nitty-gritty of what it takes to manage money like a pro.
And we're not just talking about balancing a checkbook here.
No, no, this is about taking control of your financial future, building that financial foundation.
Exactly. Whether you're running your own business freelancing or even leading a team within a company.
It's about making your money work for you.
Absolutely. So we've been digging through advice from a whole bunch of financial experts
Oh, yeah, the kind of people who really live and breathe this stuff.
to figure out what strategies actually make a difference for people like you.
And you know what's interesting? They all seem to agree on one key thing.
What's that?
Before you even think about making any big moves, you absolutely have to understand where you stand right now.
Know yourself, know your finances.
Yeah, like it's not enough to just glance at your bank balance and call it a day.
Definitely. One expert really emphasized this idea of personal cash flow.
Personal cash flow.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah, it's basically figuring out the difference between what's coming in.
And those essential expenses you can't avoid.
Right, the things you absolutely need to pay for.
Housing, food, transportation, all that good stuff.
Exactly, and what's left over after you cover those essentials, that's what they call your margin.
And that margin is where the magic happens.
The margin, that's where you find the money for savings investments.
Even those little treats that make life more enjoyable.
It all comes down to that margin.
And a lot of the experts brought up this 50-30-20 rule as a good starting point.
The 50-30-20 rule, oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so 50% of your income goes towards your needs.
30% for your wants and the remaining 20%.
That's for savings and investments.
But here's the thing, they were all super clear that this is just a guideline.
Not like a hard and fast rule.
Exactly. You've got to tweak it to fit your own unique situation.
Right, because if you're living in a city where the cost of living is through the roof,
That 50% for needs might need to be a little higher.
or maybe you're in a super intense growth phase for your business.
Yeah, you might need to dip into that 20% savings for a bit to fuel that growth.
It's all about finding what works for you in your specific circumstances.
Absolutely. One size doesn't fit all when it comes to personal finance.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think what really resonated with me from all this advice was this emphasis on conscious spending.
Conscious spending.
Yeah, it's not about depriving yourself or living like a monk.
It's more about making intentional choices about where your money goes.
Being aware of your spending habits and making sure they align with your values and your goals.
Absolutely. And this applies to your business finances too.
Totally. They kept talking about the importance of understanding your burn rate.
Burn rate. Now, that's a term you hear a lot in the startup world,
Yeah, it's basically how quickly you're going through your cash.
especially in those early stages when you're just getting off the ground.
Knowing that number can be make or break.
Absolutely. It's all about financial awareness, right?
Being in control of your numbers, whether it's your personal budget or your business finances.
And you know what this leads to? Another point that every single expert emphasized:
Hit me with it.
the importance of setting clear financial goals.
Okay, so not just like vague dreams of being rich someday.
No, no, we're talking concrete, measurable targets.
Specific numbers you can aim for.
Exactly. Thinking about buying a house,
Launching a new product line, whatever it is.
put a number on it, break it down, make it tangible.
One expert actually walked us through a scenario of buying a $500,000 house.
Oh, wow.
They talked about calculating the down payment, the closing costs, property taxes, everything.
They really broke it down.
Yeah, and it just highlighted how taking a big, maybe even intimidating goal
And turning it into a step-by-step plan.
makes it so much more achievable.
It's like moving from a wish to a strategy.
Exactly, and that shift in mindset can be incredibly powerful.
It really can, but it does raise an interesting question, though.
What was that?
What happens if your current cash flow just doesn't support the savings you need to reach those goals?
That's a great point, and something we'll definitely dive into. But before we do, if you're finding this deep dive helpful, hit that like button and share it with your network.
Spread the financial knowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so back to your question about cash flow and reaching those goals.
This is where the idea of purpose-driven budgeting comes in.
Okay, purpose-driven budgeting. What does that even mean?
It sounds kind of fancy.
I know, right? I feel like I need to take notes.
It's all about ditching those random cost-cutting measures.
You know, the kind where you just try to save money here and there without any real plan?
Exactly. And instead aligning every dollar you spend with those big goals we were just talking about.
So it's not just about creating a budget.
It's about making a budget that actively pushes you towards your dreams,
I like that your budget becomes a roadmap.
guiding you towards those big wins.
So say your goal is to expand your business next year.
A purpose-driven budget might mean cutting back on personal spending for a while.
So you can reinvest those funds into your company's growth.
It's all about making choices that reflect your priorities.
even if it means making some short-term sacrifices.
And those choices often involve understanding trade-offs.
Trade-offs.
Yeah, one expert really emphasized this concept of opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost.
It's recognizing that every financial decision comes with a hidden cost.
The thing you're giving up by choosing one path over another. One of the examples that really stuck with me was the discussion about buying a house versus renting.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Homeownership can be a great investment long-term.
But it also ties up a lot of capital,
Money that you could be using to fuel your business growth.
especially in those crucial early years.
That's a perfect example of a trade-off.
It highlights the importance of thinking about the long-term implications of your financial decisions.
All right, so we've set our goals. We're getting a handle on our cash flow.
And we're starting to think about those trade-offs.
What's next on this journey to financial mastery?
Well, once you have a solid plan in place, one of the most powerful things you can do is automate your finances.
Automation, huh?
Oh, yeah. Automation, it's not just for factories anymore. Yeah, it's like putting your financial plan on autopilot.
So instead of having to constantly think
It's
about
set it up once and then it just takes care of itself.
it's like having a personal finance assistant working 24/7.
Making sure you stay on track even when life gets crazy.
I love that. No more missed payments, or I forgot to save this month.
Exactly. One expert even suggested setting up an automatic transfer to a separate savings account.
Oh yeah, as soon as your paycheck hits.
That way you're consistently putting money aside before you even have a chance to spend it.
Out of sight, out of mind, and straight into savings.
And on the business side, think about automating things like invoices and payment reminders.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not only does it save you time, but it also makes sure you're getting paid promptly,
Which is so important for maintaining that healthy cash flow we talked about.
keeping that money coming in.
Absolutely. Okay, so automation is definitely going on my to-do list.
I think it's a game changer for a lot of people.
So we're automating our finances, sticking to our purpose-driven budget, making smart trade-offs. Anything else we should be keeping in mind on this journey?
One thing that several experts emphasized was the importance of regular review and adjustment.
Oh yeah, life is unpredictable.
Things change plans. Change your financial plan needs to be flexible enough to adapt.
Tell me about it. Unexpected expenses pop up, income can fluctuate, sometimes your priorities shift.
It all impacts your financial plan.
That's why it's so crucial to review your budget and track your progress towards your goals.
At least once a month, even more often if you're feeling ambitious.
It's like a financial checkup.
Making sure everything is running smoothly and making adjustments as needed.
I like that analogy.
And think about it in terms of your business, too.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't launch a marketing campaign and never look at the results, right?
No way, you've got to track your progress, see what's working, what's not.
Same goes for your finances, both personal and business.
So it's not about setting a plan in stone and forgetting about it.
It's about being dynamic and responsive to the ever-changing financial landscape.
Staying in control of your money.
Ensuring you're always moving towards your goals, even when those goals evolve over time.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here before we wrap up. If you're finding this deep dive valuable, be sure to hit that like button and share it with others.
Let's help everyone level up their financial game.
All right, so let's recap those key takeaways for our listeners.
We started by highlighting the importance of knowing your numbers.
Understanding your personal cash flow or your business's burn rate.
It's all about financial awareness.
Yeah, and we talked about setting those clear financial goals, not just some vague idea of, I want to be rich someday.
Right. Give yourself something specific to aim for.
Whether it's buying a house or launching that new product.
We also dove deep into that idea of purpose-driven budgeting.
Making sure your spending actually aligns with those goals.
And don't forget those trade-offs.
The opportunity costs that come with every financial decision.
Sometimes you got to make tough choices.
For sure, prioritize what matters most for the long haul.
We even talked about the power of automation.
Putting those financial plans on autopilot.
So you can free up your time and energy to focus on what you do best.
Building your business or rocking your career.
And finally, we talked about how important it is to regularly review and adjust your plan.
Life throws curveballs. Things change. You got to be able to adapt.
Absolutely. So what does all of this mean for you as you're out there building your empire?
I think the biggest takeaway is that managing your money, both personally and for your business, is a journey.
It's not about reaching some magical destination and then stopping.
There will be times when saving is the priority.
Other times when investing is key.
And yeah, there will even be times when it's okay to splurge a little.
What matters most is that you're being mindful strategic.
Always keeping those big picture goals in sight.
And remember, you don't have to do everything at once.
If you're feeling overwhelmed, start small.
Track your expenses for a month. See where your money is actually going.
Set up one small automatic savings transfer. Even a small amount can make a big difference over time.
Just start taking action and watch your financial confidence grow.
Every step you take gets you closer to mastering your money.
And achieving those ambitious goals you've set for yourself.
And if this deep dive has inspired you to level up your financial game, we'd love to hear about it.
Leave a comment below. Tell us what resonated most with you.
What are you excited to implement? What questions do you still have?
Don't forget to subscribe and share this with anyone who might benefit from these financial insights.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep striving for financial success.